Case 2. Name, Florida incident. Convict name, Alexander. A conversation between Mrs. Jones and lead detective, Robert L. Peterson. Shidner Street 447. Building C2. Room. Classified. Time of recording. October 27, 1999. 12 p.m.
Mr. Peterson should be here any minute to discuss the recent disturbance in the area. Lead detective Robert L. Peterson has been on the case since it surfaced back in 1976. Well, while I am waiting, maybe I should see what we are exactly doing here. Alright, let's see here. Case name Florida Astigler incident. Wait, huh? Astigler? What in the anyways, lead detective Mr. Peterson is on a case where a man, what in the? That don't look right. So Mr. Hamal Alexander, the fifth, that's interesting. Who the hell are you, Mr. Hamal? Wait, we got names? Joseph Harlan, age 11, Ellie Whittaker, age 13, Albert Peters home.
Mrs. Jones?
Detective, excuse me, sir. I didn't hear you come in. Please take a seat and we can begin. Alright, so Mr. Peterson, let's start, shall we?
Of course.
I know that we all are wondering who exactly is this Hamal Alexander and why are you so invested in his case? I mean, why are you so fixated on just this exact one? What's in it for you, Mr. Peterson?
Hamal Alexander V is a criminal, Mrs. Jones. He has multiple charges against men, women, and children alike, where he tickles the shit out of them. And that doesn't sit right with me or with anyone in this very building, Mrs. Jones. I think we both can agree that. And we will make sure that he will remain behind those bars for the rest of his life.
If I recall, you did manage to apprehend the suspect back in 96, but then he somehow escaped a few months ago even though you had, or, well, should have had it in under control. What the hell happened?
Mrs. Jones, I assure you that Hamal Alexander is still behind those same bars he's been behind since we put him in there. And second of all, I don't frankly know why and where you got that information from. Hamal is constantly being watched 24 hours by our CCTV system. And also, we have guards making so that this bastard stay put. I would be fair that you wouldn't spread misinformation on this stuff, Mrs. Jones. It causes unnecessary chaos.
So what you are telling me is that you don't know. Sir, with all due respect, you are a fully trained detective. You were in the army as a first lieutenant, but somehow this Hamal just walked on out of there, killed a few of your men, and you lied to their families just so that the public wouldn't know about this? To me, this Hamal, or whatever his name, is more than just a normal criminal, sir. I think you are hiding something here. No man with an SA charge does anything this horrible to just get out of a community service at least.
Ma'am, with due respect, you have no idea what you're talking about. Mr. Hamal is in custody, and what you're doing is throwing gasoline in the fire of misinformation on a case of a copycat criminal. Mr. El Depresso Alfredo is the man who is doing the newest crimes that are happening. Mr. Hamal has nothing to do with any of this. As far as you and everyone else knows, everything is under control. We are handling the situation.
Dad?
I was reading the files and I saw some names. Why didn't anyone tell that this Hamal does a bit more than just tickle a few asses? He has killed children, detective, children. And right now that monster is out there while our children are going outside without knowing that this man, or what the fuck he is supposed to be, is still out there.
What? When? How did you get those? How much did you see, Mrs. Jones? You shouldn't have those, ma'am. I'm going to ask you nicely that you hand over those papers to me, and we end this discussion here and now, and that this conversation never sees the light of day. Ever.
I can't do that, not until Hamal is dealt with. I won't stand here and do nothing. Your job is to protect the innocent from people like Hamal, and right now you need to tell me everything and make sure that Hamal is in custody for good, detective. Or I'll release this to the public.
This is not how you play this game, ma'am. But I say.
Dad? Mom? Dad? Anyone? I'm scared.
Now, you run the deal, Jones. If I ever see this thing, you just hold back.